I'd like to welcome you all to our information session today with the Legal Counsel for the Elderly once again, where we have a new guest on, Emily, and she'll be talking about veterans benefits with us today. So thank you again so much for joining us. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Inclusion Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the info and any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. If you cannot see us, hear us, please let us know. Make sure you take notes, screenshots, keep those TVs and cell phones in mind. But besides that, let's enjoy and learn something new. This will be in our YouTube. So, hello, YouTube, and you can review, rewind, and share as much as you'd like. Emily, if you could introduce yourself and your topic for today, thank you so much for coming on. And I know we're all going to learn something new today. So, thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. My name's Emily Ford. I'm a staff attorney at Legal Counsel for the Elderly. I'm in the economic health and security practice. What that means is I work on public benefits and then also veterans benefits. And so what we are going to chat about today is our Veterans Advocacy Project. And I'm going to share a slide with you. So be patient because sometimes I have difficulty with this.
Oh, no, no, we're
Okay,
here for you, Emily.
great. Okay, can everyone see my slide?
It still has you started screen sharing. There you go. So I see senior iPad presentation.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for your patience. All right, so I'll be chatting about our Veterans Advocacy Project here at Legal Counsel for the Elderly. And at Legal Counsel for the Elderly, we assist veterans and spouses of veterans and surviving spouses of veterans obtain a bunch of public benefits. So we're going to talk about DC public benefits, federal benefits, and then also veterans benefits. And so this presentation won't just be for those who are veterans or surviving spouses. It will be anyone who's in DC and is interested about DC public benefits. And so, Legal Counsel for the Elderly, we work on championing dignity and rights of Washington, D.C. elders by providing free legal and social work services to those in need by empowering, defending, and protecting our vulnerable seniors. What we're going to go over today is all of these public benefits. And so just quickly, just some of our own housekeeping is the people that we serve here at Legal Counselor for the Elderly are those who are 60 or older. Though if you're 55 plus and are having issues with Social Security, we can assist you 55 plus. And then you have to be a resident in DC. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share our hotline number at the end. So if you have any legal questions or want to share information with anyone, that'll be the best number. And so these are a bunch of the public benefits we're going to go over today. I'm not going to go into all the nitty gritty, but just explain what they are. And these are the things that we assist with. So the first type of benefits that we assist with are with medical benefits. And so we assist with two types of insurance, one called Medicaid and one called QMB. And so Medicaid provides healthcare coverage, including doctor's visits, hospital stays, preventative care, vaccinations, prescription drugs, dental, vision, and long-term care. It also assists with covering the costs of some Medicare premiums for those who are eligible for both Medicare and Medicaid. Now, QMB, which is shorthand for a qualified Medicare beneficiary, is those for people who are already on Medicare. And what QMB does is for those who do not qualify for Medicaid because they're slightly over income, QMB will help pay for those drug premiums for Medicare. And then the next medical program that we assist with is something called the Elderly Persons and Disability Waiver. This is through Medicaid, and it provides long-term care services to help folks stay in their home. And so you can receive nursing home level of care, but if you want to receive them in your home, this is the program for you. So it provides personal care aid services. It also adult day health programs. It pays for assisted living facilities. Also provides some case management services and chore aid services. Um, and one thing that I like to that many of our seniors enjoy is if you qualify for a certain number of hours. You don't have to go through a personal care aid agency. You can actually go through something called Services My Way, which is a participant directed service. And that means is you can hire someone close to you, and DC will pay them to be your personal care aide. So that's just something to keep in mind, if that's something you're interested in the future. Next, we want to go into some of the DC public benefits. Many of you are probably familiar with, I know these have been in the news a lot, but the first one is food stamps or SNAP. So SNAP is a program that provides those who are eligible with electronic benefits that can be used to purchase food. The amount that you get in SNAP depends on your income, how much you're paying for housing expenses, medical expenses, and stuff like that. And so if anyone is interested in making sure your SNAP benefit is correct, or if you want to apply for SNAP, or if it's been reduced, you can reach out to us and we can assist you with that. Um,
You
uh,
all had a great session where Robin did the calculator for this
oh, good.
benefits. So that was a great session. So
Yes. Yes,
mm.
and it gets the calculation can get pretty complicated, and so I use that calculator most of the time, and so it is very helpful to use. Um and then some other services that we provide are utility assistance. And so there are two main DC programs. One is called LIHEAP, the other is called UDP, that provide financial assistance to eligible households to help them pay for their heating and cooling bills. Um, UDP opened up. It was closed for a year for a little bit, but it opened back up in November. And so you can apply for UDP assistance. LIHEAP was supposed to open back up in October, but it hasn't yet. But we're still waiting to hear, and we have applications ready when that hopefully opens up again. And then the final DC public benefit kind of goes in with other Social Security benefits, but it's called Interim Disability Assistance or IDA. And so if you have applied for a Social Security program called SSI, it takes quite a while for Social Security sometimes to process those requests. And what IDA does is it pays you a certain amount of money while you're waiting on that disability application. So as long as you're financially eligible, you will and you have a continuing SSI case, you can we can help you apply for that IDA assistance. All right, and some federal public benefits that we also assist with. So one that I just previewed before, it's called Supplemental Security Income or SSI. So SSI provides monthly cash benefits to eligible individuals who are age 65 or older, blind or disabled. Another disability program that is like SSI but slightly different is a Social Security Disability Insurance or SSDI. SSDI provides financial assistance to individuals who have worked and paid Social Security taxes for a certain period of time and are now unable to work or engage in something called substantial gainful activity. What that means is they can't work. You can't just work your job. You just can't work any job. If you have a disability that is going to last longer than a year. So the main difference between SSI and SSDI is if you have worked the requisite amount of work credits. So it normally adds up to about like 10 years of work. And then finally is Social Security retirement. And so Social Security retirement provides financial support to retired workers who have reached retirement age and have paid into the Social Security system through payroll taxes through their working years. Um, and so full retirement age is different for everyone. It depends on your birth year. For some people it's 65 and some people it's 67. But there are a couple of different retirement benefits. There is early retirement. So if you're under full retirement age, which starts at 62, you can collect early retirement, which the only downside is it'll be less than your full retirement amount, and it'll stay that way for forever. It won't go back up to your full retirement amount, but if you need cash now, it's a really good program. And then there's full retirement, and then there's something called deferred retirement. And so that one is if you wait until 67, it's not they give you an extra benefit because you waited so long to start collecting your retirement. And then, of course, with all of those benefits, there are also special Social Security spousal benefits. So if you're a surviving spouse of someone who used to collect, any of these Social Security retirement or SSDI, you may be eligible for part of that benefit. And so two ones that I want to talk about are widow's benefits. So you may be able to collect benefits based on a deceased spouse's Social Security record. So if they were already, collecting Social Security retirement, or even if you divorced someone who was receiving Social Security retirement, you also might be eligible for some money from Social Security. And so if you have any questions about whether you're eligible, give us a call and we can let you know. Social Security has been closed with the government shutdown, but I hear that they should be opening soon, so we'll be able to answer more of your questions then. And then finally, this is something that I see a lot, are Social Security overpayments or underpayments. And so what an overpayment is when Social Security says that they paid you too much money. And so this can happen, if you're working and then also collecting some Social Security benefits, that means that Social Security wants to collect that back. And so there's a couple of different ways that we can deal with that. If you get an overpayment, depending on if we're asking them to forgive it or if we're just saying they're wrong, or if we're trying to get you on a payment plan so you can still afford to live your life. Those are the type of things that if you're having any of those issues, I would really encourage you to call legal counsel for the elderly. Oh, one moment. Oh, perfect. Okay. And then finally, we're getting to kind of the meat of our presentation, and these are benefits with the VA. And so we assist veterans, all veterans with all discharges on those other benefits. But with these certain benefits from the VA, sometimes they require either a general discharge or an honorable discharge. So we'll talk a little bit about that going forward, but we assist those veterans and also spouses of veterans with these benefits. And so there are kind of three main categories of benefits. There's something called service-connected disability. Basically, what that is if you were you're injured in service, and you have a disability now, and if you can prove that that disability is connected to what happened in service. And so there's a couple of different kinds and different ways to get there. Um, but that is one major claim. The next one is non-service connected pension. So that one doesn't require that something happened to you during service, but it does require either that you are now currently disabled, if you're over the age of 65, and you served during wartime. And then finally, there are also, you can get some benefits if you're a surviving spouse of a veteran. So we'll talk a little bit about each of those. So again, we just spoke about service-connected disability compensation. So it's a benefit paid to veterans who have current illness or injury that was either incurred or aggravated while serving on active duty. And you have to have been discharged under other than dishonorable conditions. And so that what that means is that you had a general discharge or an honorable discharge. And so there are, we take a couple of different kinds of cases. And so first off, if you've never applied before, and you believe that, we can investigate to see, if you need these benefits, we can help you do an initial application. If you received a denial, we can help appeal that. And then also, if you think that you're eligible for more compensation, so for instance, let's say that you were service connected for your foot, but for your left foot, but now your right foot hurts, we can see if we can increase that that for you. Again, we talked a little bit about the non-service connected pension. So that is for someone who served during a minimum period of time during wartime. And so these are times that are set by statute by Congress. If you're over the age of 65, or if you have a permanent non-service connected disability. So again, that disability doesn't have to be connected to your service at all. And so again, we take a couple of different types of cases. There are a couple of ways that you can increase a pension. So one is if you're homebound, or if you need assistance with things called activities of daily living. So, walking, eating, bathing, those types of things. You can be eligible for more money. Um, and then we also take appeals and initial applications. So again, give us a call if you have any questions about that. And then finally, we're going to talk a little bit about survivors benefits. And so there's two main types of survivors benefits. One, you can apply for survivors pension. So it's very similar to what we chatted about before. So your spouse needed to have served during wartime during a certain period of time, and then would have had to been discharged on either a general or honorable. And then you're also eligible for the same kind of for enhancements if we get like a doctor's note saying that you can't leave your house or need assistance with certain activities. There's another benefit called, and I always have a hard time saying this, it's called Survivors Dependency and Indemnity Compensation. So what that is that it's a tax-free monetary benefit paid to a surviving spouse, child, or parent of a service member who either passed away during the line of duty, so while they were in service, or they're survivor of a veteran who died from a service-related injury or illness. So what that means is that they were probably service connected, speaking about some of the benefits we spoke about before, and that progressed enough that they passed away. So we also do these type of claims. You do have to have been married at the time of death, and again the discharge needs to be honorable or general. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. I already spoke about this one here. And then the final benefit that we assist with is with burial benefits. And so these are pre-need burial eligible determinations. And so what that is you don't have to wait. If you're a veteran, you can be eligible for certain burial benefits, like being buried in a certain cemetery or with flags. Or I heard a story on NPR this morning about having taps played at your funeral. That's also a benefit. So we can help apply for these before you pass away, so you know where you're going to be and what benefits would be at your burial. Again, you need to have served. You need to have active duty. Again, honorable or general under honorable conditions, and there is a minimum service period. But those are things that we can all chat with you about. And then I just wanted to pass along our hotline. Um, you don't have to be over the age of 55 or 60 to call our hotline. We can speak to anyone if you have a legal issue. We just might not be able to take it in-house if you don't meet those certain qualifications. But to receive assistance from an attorney from the hotline, you do have to be a DC resident and generally over the age of 60. Again, you can be 55 if you're looking for assistance with Social Security disability benefits. Um, but of course, if you have any legal question, they are a wealth of knowledge. They have a lot of referrals for many different things, and they can try to point you in the right direction. I know I speak really fast, and so I apologize for that. Does anyone have any questions or things that they want to chat about?
Oh, thank you again, Emily, for your wonderful presentation today. And I loved your general overview of those of the different services. So please keep your screen shared so we can see or check out some additional slides. But do you mind going through your the ones on veterans benefits for us?
Of course, one
Yes,
moment.
just to slide through each one as we chat, and then I think any folks have any questions for the other public benefits, I think we could do that after the veterans one.
Of course. Let me just share my screen again.
I just we have a hand, so any other hands, please raise your hand. I have one in the chat that I will ask first. Any other questions about veterans benefits? So the last half of Emily's presentation. Thank you for your question in the chat. Again, if you have any questions, or if you don't want to maybe necessarily share something specific on this call, please utilize your hotline number. As Robin has shared many, many times, so please utilize their services, y'all. If you are receiving widow benefits now and decide to remarry, or decide to remarry or have been remarried, how does it affect your widow's benefits? Do you stop getting that benefit?
Well, it would be on a case by case basis. So I don't know if I'd be able to speak specifically to your situation. Um, but 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 long story short, likely no. The one thing that you need to keep in mind though is you can only get the benefit you can only get one type of benefit normally. And so when it comes to divorce spouse benefits and widow's benefits and Social Security retirement, you can only get the highest of the three. So for instance, let's say that you were receiving widow's benefits, you got divorced. Or sorry, let's say you got divorced, you were receiving divorce spouse benefits, you remarried, you would only be able to get the highest of the two. There are some tricky little rules that apply to being being remarried and for the length of time that you need to be married for. And so if you have any questions about that, we're happy to look into that specific question for you.
Yeah, I just DM'd it to you just to make sure we're on the same page. So thank you for that question. Uh, Again, any other veterans questions? Emily, do you mind
And
scrolling through your slides?
yes, sorry, one moment.
Mhm.
For some reason, I was having a hard time with the screen share. So
It's
let's go
okay.
back to it.
I know it said you were at the end, so you kind of had to restart the
Yeah, maybe that's what the deal
slideshow.
was.
Any other veterans questions? You can raise your hand. You can unmute yourself as well. If you have veterans questions, and then we'll go back to the public benefits questions. Any veterans questions? Is it helpful? Did you learn something new? Would this benefit yourself or someone you know?
Emily, this is Gracie Webb. Uh,
Nice to meet you.
you were saying benefits that you can receive if it's not service related. Now, I know someone that is suffering from congestive heart failure now,
Mhm.
and the income is limited. Would you think they would be eligible for a benefit under the circumstances? They
They
got an honorable discharge and everything.
they certainly maybe, and I would again refer them to our hotline because it would be on a case by case basis. Um,
Mhm,
there's a couple things that we could look into.
mhm,
If we're looking at this slide right here, there's four different ways that you can prove a service connected disability claim.
mhm.
And so one of them's the obvious way, like it's direct. You know, you hurt
Right.
your leg, and then now your leg is permanently damaged.
Mhm.
The second way is if you aggravate a condition that you already had. So let's say that you went into the service and you had a heart issue, but then service made it worse, and now you have the congested heart failure. That's another way. A secondary is, you know, say for instance, you hurt your left leg going into service, but now because you're using your left leg so much, your right leg now is injured. So that's another way. And then the final one is a presumptive service connected disability. So there's Congress has passed a list of different disabilities if you're exposed to different things that are automatic. And so congestive heart failure may be one if they were, you know, they served during a certain time, if they were exposed to a certain chemical. So it would really be a case by case basis, and I would let your friend know that if they were interested to see, we'd love to chat with them.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Gracie, so much. I know
Mhm.
it's and I hope it helps your friend. I hope legal counsel is able to help your friend.
I hope so too.
That's what we're here for. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Um, hmm. Any other questions from the group on veterans benefits? Any other questions? I hope we were able to answer that first question about the widow's benefits. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If you do have any, please unmute yourself and share. We are open to questions. Again, your question may be helpful to someone else, and you may not even know it. So, um,
And I'm sure my colleagues have shared with people before, but we have a bunch of things called senior kits, which kind of explain everything that I said, but in a lot more detail, giving, you know, specific income requirements for these benefits. And I will share that link with you once I stop sharing my slides.
oh, yes, please put that in the chat. We love it. Um, well, thank you all for this veterans portion. And again, I hope your friend is able to work it out and just call and ask. The worst that can happen is someone says no. I mean, at least you'll know, what it is and where to go from there. So please call. For the first section, of course, something that may apply to a few more folks in our sessions. But Emily, before we go in for any questions, I love this list right here. Yes, we talked about pretty much every one of these. It's so sad about like heap. It was supposed to be October 1st, then November 1st, but that's why UDP is still available. So there was last month, Robin did mention about the tomorrow's date where folks can visit and get assistance with that application. Is that still going on, or is were the folks informed that will be moved or something?
Yes, I believe the folks who we would be meeting tomorrow have already uh they should know. Because we actually we're all filled up, which is great. But if anyone has any questions, we can also meet with you one off and not, all at once.
Yeah, and I wish that was still occurring because it was such a great slide she had, and we had a few folks interested in going. But yeah, we've talked about Medicaid QMB EPD waiver, like HEAP. We've talked about all the S's, the DIs, the R's, and so I love this. Any folks have any questions about any of these? Any questions? You can raise your hands, and then we'll see how many hands. Um, but is there for any of these, Emily, is there anything that you'd like to share? Maybe we haven't spoken with legal counsel for a month, maybe any changes that have happened or will happen that you're aware of in regards to any of these before we go for any questions?
Yes, I would like to know. So there will be a couple of changes to Medicaid and SNAP um, in the district based off of a couple of bills that were passed. And so Medicaid eligibility, income eligibility is going to go down to I'm forgetting the number, but it's about 138% poverty. I can look to see what that is. But and some people will be switched off Medicaid and will be enrolled in something called I think it's called DC Healthy, which is going to be it's another public health insurance program that you won't have to pay for, but it will offer less benefits. And so, for instance, it won't include vision or dental or non-emergency transportation. And so people have started getting their notices saying that if they're going to be moved off into this other plan. And so if you have any questions or think that they're wrong, um, one, you should get a notice. And two, if you have questions about that notice, you should give us a call and let us know. So that's kind of the new thing that's going on with Medicaid. Um, as for SNAP, there's going to be changes in how some things are calculated. And so if you see your SNAP amounts go down, again, I also want you to give us a call because it might be correct or they might make a mistake. And so there will be some differing requirements. One being that if you have utilities, you're going to have to provide proof of those utilities to get that discount. There's also going to be some work requirements, but that'll be for those under the age of 60, and so or under the age of 65. So again, if you have any questions about those, please give us a call.
Oh, thank you so much, Emily. I know Robin shared with me that will be the topic for next month is the Medicaid and SNAP changes. So of course, more things will be fleshed out hopefully by next month. So, well, I know it will be, it may be a kind of a different time in a month. So, I'm looking forward to those changes. And yes, thank you so much. So, any questions for any of these? Okay, again, Emily, did hear you say you worked on public benefits, so you're in like Robin's Corner, and I know you may man those desks and the phone sometimes, and we appreciate everything that you do because I know that sometimes legal counsel is very busy. So just keep calling, and the morning is preferred, and get the voicemails, but they're there to assist. It was amazing to hear how many public benefits you all assisted folks with in the past year. So when I was at an event, I saw that number and I was like, that's amazing.
Oh, great. I think I see a couple of raised hands.
I love it. We got two hands. So we got Louise first and then Anne. So Louise, do you have any questions for veterans benefits or any that you see here on the screen?
I was thinking about how do you know whether they over or underpay you for your Social Security?
That is a really, really good question. And so if they think that you owe them money, don't you worry, they'll let you know.
Oh, sure.
They you'll get a notice in the mail. And the notice should say exactly what they think you owe them and
Mhm.
so there'll be a calculation. Sometimes their notices are more confusing than others, but they should be sending you a notice in the mail.
Uh-huh.
This is not a great way to let you know, but sometimes what you'll see is your check will be less.
Mhm.
And so just keep on top of that and look at your verification notices and look to see how much is deposited into your bank account. Because if all of a sudden it's less, you should give either Social Security or us a call to figure out why.
Oh,
There'll
okay.
be a couple of reasons why. One thing that we see a lot is sometimes when you're enrolled in QMB, sometimes they'll disenroll you. Just randomly. You'll still be on QMB, but there's some error in their computer system, and so that they start taking those Medicare premiums out of your check again. And so if you see your check go down by for 2025 it's $185, that's the issue, and you should give us a call. And in that you may or may not receive a notice if it's a coding mistake. So that's one way. Whether or not you think you have an underpayment, which means that you think Social Security owes you more, Social Security isn't going to give you a notice on that. And so the only way you're the only way you're going to
Isn't it
know
true?
is if you speak to a lawyer and or talk to Social Security and there's some reason why you think that they owe you more money. And so some reasons why you would be eligible for more money would be under so SSI is a program where you can in 2025 get $967 a month. If your retirement is less than $967 a month, you can supplement that with SSI to get up to $967 a month. And so if your Social Security check or if all of your income is less than that amount per month, let us know and we can see if we can get you more money. So those are kind of some of the things to look for. And does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Emily. I know, going from one program to another, it can be, you know, let's say a dealio, but you answer that so eloquently. So even I understood what you had said. So thank you so much. I just shared the video that Robin did for overpayments and underpayments. This was from May. So Louise, I would also watch that video in the chat as well, if you'd like. Thank you so much. For asking. Yes, this is the time. Again, You know, Robin does an amazing job. Love it. But it's always nice to hear another point of view, another perspective. So,
Mhm.
please take advantage of the time. Thank you, Louise. We got Anne next. Do you have a question about veterans benefits or any of these public benefits here?
I just wanted to make a comment on the veterans. I wish that my honey and I had known something about that earlier, because he passed away with a lot of questions unanswered and a lot of difficulty in getting things done. But I was interested. Well, you answered basically that the IHE program is not going to have a startup tomorrow.
No, no, unfortunately. Yes, LIHEAP, they kind of have paused it in to the foreseeable future, and so they didn't give us a date. But I will be sure if we do get a date of when the LIHEAP program or utility assistance will start up. Robin
Are,
will for
still,
sure make an announcement.
are you still taking the applications?
So not for tomorrow, but if you're interested in having someone help you with utility assistance, you can give a call to our hotline and one of the attorneys will assist you.
Well, I'm sorry, Emily.
Oh no, go on.
The social worker, Elaine Barber, um, uh, has been working on some stuff for me. So
Oh, good,
I'll talk to her because
good.
I have already got all my information for the IHEAP on an application.
Okay, okay, good. Yes, no,
Yeah.
Elaine is great, and she finds money in places I can't. So
No.
I would continue to
Yeah,
talk to her.
Elaine is very good. Yeah, very, very good.
I need Elaine in.
Yeah, Elaine is real good. If you need some help with call the social worker at ARP. She is excellent.
Okay.
Excellent, really.
But
Yeah,
Emma, ask you one other thing. If Anne's finished,
Sure.
Anne, are you finished?
yeah. I just wanted. Well, she answered part of it, so I
Okay.
guess we have to wait to see about the Medicaid and the SNAP program and all that. So,
Yeah.
but thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you, Anne. Yes, we'll hear from Gracie, and
Yeah.
then Gracie and Miss Wilmington, you have a question. So I love all the questions, y'all.
She had said something about the changes in Medicaid because they're trying to get me an aid. And I had to, with that EPD waiver and all that, and they said I was approved, but I haven't heard anything, and it's been 2 months. So maybe I'm under that where they're rejecting it, you're thinking maybe?
Maybe, or maybe sometimes it takes a long time.
Mhm.
And so what I would do is have they assigned you um like a caseworker or anything yet? Like anything from
And
that?
I was approved, but I'm
Okay.
waiting on the facility to call me and let me know they have somebody. But it's been 2 months
Oh.
and I haven't had anybody call me yet.
Yes. Do you know actually who I would call to see if they can hurry that along is the
Uh-huh.
long-term care ombudsman, and let me get that number for you once.
Okay, already.
So we work with them very closely, but I think that'll be a good because there, as you probably know, there is a shortage of aides.
That's what.
Um,
Mhm.
and so it might be taking that long.
Oh,
But sometimes if they hear from the long-term care ombudsman, they find some people.
okay.
Is
And
this the
so
correct number? I put it in the chat, the 202-434-2190.
yes, that's perfect. That is, yes.
And I also put their email in the chat. It says calls and emails are responded to within 24 hours or the next business day.
Okay.
You see that in the chat, Gracie?
Yeah, I'm trying to write it down there.
Awesome. Don't
Mhm.
forget, you can hold it, copy it, and paste
Right, I know,
it
but I
else.
got a book that I'm trying to put all this information.
I know you do, Gracie. I love that, and I hope they're helpful. I think we talked about the ombudsman a lot when Robin mentioned QMB.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. So that was I remember extensively about the ombudsman.
Okay. Thank you, Emily.
Of course. Yes.
Hello?
Oh, yes,
Hello.
I was muted. Any questions from you, Miss Wilmatine, on these benefits or the veterans ones we went over?
No, I was trying to find a lawyer to help me to get started on preparing a will. Are you all helping anyone with that?
Yes, so we do have some so I don't, but we do have some lawyers that assist with wills. And so I would give a call. I'm gonna go all the way to the back again.
Okay,
So I would call this number right here.
I don't see it.
Oh, it's
It's on the
the
screen. It's on the screen share, Miss Wilmatine.
Oh, should I lower my hand so I can see it?
No, 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 no. If you're in Zoom, you should see Miss Emily's screen share. You can tap on her video or use the box of the bottom right corner so you can adjust the screen share, but it should be on your screen.
I can
Right?
There
also
it is.
oh you
That's
see
the
okay.
same number. I just wrote that number down.
Oh yeah, so
Yes,
the long-term care ombudsman and so I guess they so we are both housed together. So yes, so it is the same number.
oh, well, 2190 versus 20. It's not
Oh,
the same
it's
Oh,
number.
it's not. Okay, good. I was
okay.
like, I didn't think it was the same, but we are housed in the
What
same.
is it?
It-
2190?
So that's the ombudsman. So that number is in the chat. So that
Okay,
was
I'm
for
looking at.
Miss I think that was for Miss Gracie for her question. Uh,
Okay.
but the 2120 here, that's legal counsel for the elderly's hotline number.
Yeah, but I just called it and it said I couldn't get any response at all.
Yeah, so unfortunately that does happen sometimes, because sometimes you get too many callers at once. And so I would keep on calling until you reach someone.
Oh,
And it does we have heard that people have been able to get through earlier. And so if you call like right when it opens at like 9:30.
okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Miss Wilmatine. I also put the video from April of this year when Lisa did wills, trusts, and powers of attorney. So
Okay.
please
That
watch
was
that video as well.
okay. That was in April of this year.
It's all in the chat.
Go to the chat.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thank you.
Oh yes, just you can call and get those questions, but just know that we have our videos on our channel, so you can review and just even be more informed. So thank you. I love it, Emily. We've been doing this for a while now. We always learn new things, and there's always
No,
new changes.
thank you so much for all of the questions.
Yeah,
You-
we're so inquisitive.
For the answers.
Yeah, Miss Emily's doing a wonderful job. It sounds like
Yeah,
we have Robin here.
yeah.
Thank you all. Any additional questions? Again, this is, speak now or forever hold your peace kind of situation. But this is like, it's just great to be able to speak to someone and have them answer so wonderfully. So, any other questions about veterans benefits or any public benefits? Any questions? But this is if you have any questions, additional questions, this is the number. At the end of the day, if you have any legal questions or there's anything, please be empowered to ask. Again, the worst thing that they can say is no, but they're not going to just say no because they're going to refer you somewhere. If they cannot assist you with something specific, they have quite, a resource. We're here in DC, so there's definitely an organization to help out with something or anything you may need assistance with. Any other questions? You can unmute yourself and ask and share. You can raise your hands. Any other public benefits questions? But if we don't have any other questions, well, just like before, Emily, when we went over that calculator for that SNAP, I mean, I feel like everyone over the age of 60 should just call and just kind of do a check-in with their benefits because you may never know if you're maybe eligible for more money or more benefits or you may find out something is wrong and you can correct it before it gets to a certain point. So
And I really do want to encourage people if they are interested or want a public benefits checkup, we are happy to do it. It's not it's my job. I like doing them, and so don't hesitate to call.
I mean, even if it's an extra $50 and something a month, that's an extra $50 and something a month. And again, the more, something is used or taken advantage of, like calling the hotlines and taking advantage of our classes and things of that nature, just shows that it's, everything is being used and rightfully placed in, your pockets or your wallets. So, yes, for anything today. If
Yeah.
you have any additional questions, please give legal counsel a call. Any other last questions for Emily before we end for today, or any comments for Emily? You can unmute yourself and share.
Emily, I want to thank you for the beautiful presentation.
Well, thank you so much for coming today to listen to it. I really enjoyed getting to know all of you and answer your questions. And if you have any other ones, call our hotline and maybe we'll get to chat more.
Yeah, you were very informative and you knew your business.
Good. I'm good. I'm glad at least it seemed like I did.
Well, it worked, okay? Sometimes you listen to people. That's one thing about legal for counsel for the elderly. Sometimes you can't get through. I know that for a fact. I'm Ward 7's advisory council member for the legal counsel for the elderly. But sometimes when in the meetings we bring complaints because we can't get through and people get frustrated. But I keep telling them keep calling and earlier the better. Early in the morning, start calling.
Well, and thank you
Somebody
so
will answer
much.
them.
Were you at our fundraiser event on?
Thursday, no,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I was not able to make it because I'm recovering from the pneumonia and my doctor. When I went Thursday morning, they told me they didn't think I was ready to be
Oh, that's
exposed.
too
So
bad.
yeah, but
But thank you
anyhow,
so much for serving on that council. We really appreciate the feedback.
well, I appreciate the council. Okay. I'm trying to get more people to invite the council over to um, uh, more places, some of the churches and stuff, because it's important that seniors know. A lot of times, seniors don't want to go because they think they're treated some way or another. But I keep telling them there are a lot of resources out there. You just have to fight for them sometimes.
You sure do, Anne. Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate it.
God bless you, Emily.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions for Emily? Any
Yes.
other okay, hi Dolores.
Hi. I just want to get a better clarification about the widow benefits that Alan asked earlier. As far as if you're receiving widow benefit now and later on down the road you decide to get remarried, how does that affect the benefit that you're receiving presently?
Yeah, so it'll all so unfortunately I don't know if I can give you an exact answer that you want. I think we would have to if that happens, we would have to look at that. But also if that's something that you're thinking about doing in the future and you want to know if it's, a good decision based on your finances, you can also give us a call and we can look into that and see if your benefits will be affected. The reason why I can't answer is because, there are exceptions and sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. I don't want to give you the wrong answer right now.
Oh, okay then. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Give me something to think about.
Yes, and please call to, if you are think about more and you want some assistance.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Thank you both.
My pleasure. Miss Brenda, well, Miss Barnes, did you have a question? I thought I heard your voice a little earlier, but you
Yeah,
had a question?
you already answered it for me. That's cool. That's good.
Oh, I love that.
All right.
I,
Very good.
thank you, Miss Barnes.
All
And
right.
then our other Brenda, hi, you have a question
Hi.
about public
Yeah.
benefits?
Now Miss Emily, you mentioned you were going to put the income requirements for some of these programs.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that, like for the SNAP benefits and the QMB and.
Yes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in our senior kits into the chat. So I'm gonna stop sharing. And I am going to put that resource there. And so 1 second.
Yeah. So make sure y'all check out.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Brenda. Make sure you check out the chat, everyone. As soon as Emily puts that link in the chat, again, we have it open up for a little bit afterwards. So make sure you copy that link, or there you go. Tap on it.
All
It should
right.
take you to
And
Safari.
so on that link is something called senior kits. And so we have them split up by kind of type of law. And so we have a veterans benefits senior kit, a DC public benefits, a medical benefits, and probate. And each one will have the specific requirements.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, this is amazing, Emily. I see the veterans, DC, medical, probate, and Social Security senior kit. So that's amazing. I've never heard of this, sir. So thank you so much for sharing it.
Well, great. I'm glad.
It literally has the PDF and the document with everything for each section. So
It can be a little overwhelming. So if you have questions about them, you can let us know, but we try to just put everything in there.
And I see this one for the public benefits. This one is published last December. Are
Yes.
they're all published around that time?
Yeah, so they're all published last December. And so if there are different income requirements, there's a link of where to look those up.
Oh, I see it here. I can see how it could be a little overwhelming, but it's good for, to know which one you're going in and then just kind of taking your time to look through.
So Al, you said just tap it at one time?
Again, when you hit a link in the chat, it should take you straight
Yeah.
to that link, or if you want to copy the link by holding it and pasting it somewhere, you can also do that as well.
Okay, thank you, Al.
Well, Emily, this is Gracie. I just want to thank you for the information, especially about the incident I was telling you about, because I was trying to help this person, but I didn't know how to go about it. So at least now I know how to go about it to see if they will be eligible.
Yes, and thank you so much for thinking of her and for thinking of us.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, I love that. I love all the questions, y'all. Thank you so much. Any last questions? Last questions. I know we appreciate Emily for her time. Any last questions? But again, you can always call the hotline. What are the hours, Emily? Like 9 to 5? You're muted right now.
Yes, I believe they're 9 to 5.
So calling earlier is better. All right. Well, Emily, any words of advice or anything else you'd like to let us know from legal counsel? I know we may not hear from you all until December next session. Well, hopefully when we have our Thanksgiving party, you'll be able to join, but please join Robin in December so that way you both can talk to us about Medicaid and SNAP changes and any other changes, because I know there may be quite a few. So we hope to have you join us next month if you
I would love to.
can. You guys would seem like the dream team together. So we appreciate you so very much, and we learned a lot. And we'll be in touch, okay?
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me today.
Let's all thank Emily for a wonderful presentation today.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Emily.
Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
you.
Thank
See you
you.
later, Emily.
Much.
Much
Thank
Thank you. Have a
you.
blessed day.
Today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.